Jury in the Sean Diddy Combs case almost complete. Prosecutors are preparing for opening arguments on Monday, but they admit there's a snag. One of their key witnesses against the rapper appears to have gone missing. This comes as we learn that Combs' ex-girlfriend, who was seen on video being assaulted by the rapper, is pregnant. Here's Les Trent.
Is a key witness in the Sean Diddy Combs trial backing out? Victim number 3, as she's called, was set to testify against the music mogul. The name of victim number 3 was going to be revealed when she took the stand, but the woman has apparently gone missing, and prosecutors say they've been unable to reach her.
People just get nervous, and this person could just be nervous and just has had second thoughts.
If the prosecutor can't find this witness, how might it affect the case?
Look, I don't think it's going to have a tremendous effect. The prosecution is going to call a number of alleged victims. So look, this is just one less.
A key witness mysteriously vanishes. Jurors are suddenly dropping out. And Diddy, the music mogul, allegedly made over 200 phone calls just to buy silence. That's right. A case once dismissed as another celebrity scandal is now unraveling into a terrifying web of darkness, pulling in some of the biggest names in the industry: Cassie, Kanye West, even Michael B. Jordan, and Robert Downey Jr. If you think this is just another tabloid drama, think again. Because when prison bars can't even stop witness tampering, the question isn't, is Diddy guilty anymore? It's, who's going down next? If you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to subscribe for more. Just when everything seemed set for opening arguments, the bombshell hit. Witness number 3, a woman believed to hold key testimony against Diddy, suddenly disappeared. No one could reach her. No returned calls. No trace of where she went. And it didn't stop there. A juror emailed the judge, begging to be excused from the case due to overwhelming stress. Another was disqualified after it came to light that they were in the middle of a lawsuit with the city of New York, delaying the entire jury selection process.
Well, I mean, on the surface, if the prosecutor's claims are true, this seems like pretty much textbook witness tampering, right? I mean, it appears to be an effort to either, in some cases, intimidate witnesses from testifying against him, or there have been other reports of sort of inducing people to make statements in his defense. There was some allegation that in one instance this was a statement that he, in essence, dictated or drafted with a woman who made a statement that was attempting to rebut one of the accusers, I believe, in a civil case against him. I mean, witness tampering is bad. The things that Sean Combs is accused of are terrible. He pleads his innocence. The justice system will presumably work its way through.
It is likely that there is some underlying truth to at least some of the allegations. There might be a lot of underlying truth to a lot of the allegations. There's probably some bandwagoning going on. We spoke to an attorney who's for one of the alleged victims of Diddy a few weeks ago. I believe Amber Nomiki and I did, and they said they had calls, they had information, they had people, hundreds of them, come forward. They're not going to represent all of them. They're, which ones have evidence that can be compelling. What are the best cases to bring that? I also saw a story in the New York Post. This is from a week ago, about Diddy stuff that I wanted to read the headline of. Woman claims she saw minors dressed as Harajuku Barbies at Sean Diddy Combs' FreakOFF parties, what he was describing there to Conan so many years ago. Said these were sex-fueled parties with what she initially thought were little people dressed as Japanese Barbies. And she said, this is her talking to TMZ, are those midgets? And she actually thinks they were kids dressed up in sexy.
Oh, gross.
So again, that's just from someone who provided this information to TMZ for a documentary. Yeah. But pretty disgusting.
It is. No, that's.
Even stranger? A string of phone calls from jail, where Diddy is being held, suggests he was actively trying to contact witnesses, allegedly enlisting family members to make three-way calls to mask his identity. One victim reportedly received over 200 calls. 200. If that's not witness intimidation, what is?
With the selection of a jury in the Sean Diddy Combs case almost complete, prosecutors are preparing for opening arguments on Monday, but they admit there's a snag. One of their key witnesses against the rapper appears to have gone missing. This comes as we learn that Combs' ex-girlfriend, who was seen on video being assaulted by the rapper, is pregnant.
Cassie Ventura, once Diddy's longtime girlfriend and a familiar name in the music world, is now at the center of this legal firestorm. She was the first to publicly accuse Diddy back in November, and this week, she's also one of the key witnesses summoned to testify. And here's the shocking twist. Cassie may soon be placed under federal witness protection. Sounds like something out of a movie? It's not. It's very real. According to courtroom insiders, Cassie has been facing a wave of subtle threats, serious enough that prosecutors are now considering round-the-clock protection for both her and her family. What's more, Diddy's legal team isn't just denying the allegations, they're going on the offensive. Their claim? Cassie was the abusive one in the relationship. That everything Diddy did was simply self-defense.
All right, now let's get into what's going on with this Diddy trial, because there are some new things coming out as they're in the courtroom. And one thing that Diddy's defense team is leaning in on is saying that, yes, Diddy was abusive toward his ex Cassie, but they're also saying that she was no angel and allegedly got violent with him as well. It's day 4 of the Diddy trial, and the prosecutor and Diddy's attorney had a very interesting exchange with the judge. It kicked off with Johnson telling the judge that the victim one, who they believe is Cassie, will not be cross-examined about certain medical issues. But that's when Diddy's attorney said the defense is going to take the position there was a mutual violence in their relationship, hitting on both sides, DV, domestic violence. He said, we are absolutely going to admit to domestic violence, but at what point does it become coercive? And that's when the judge clarified, saying, you're arguing that they are just violent. And he said, right, we are saying that it's relevant. They also said they're submitting a letter to the court on the topic, and they're going to offer 2 cell phone videos and the corrected CNN footage of that infamous tape where you saw Diddy beating Cassie up at the Intercontinental Hotel in LA. If you recall, Diddy's team had been saying that tape was doctored. There was more to it. And so I guess they have the full video they are claiming that they're planning to bring up in court. So we'll see what happens.
Classic playbook? Maybe. But the public isn't buying it. A surveillance video released by CNN showing Diddy assaulting Cassie in a Los Angeles hotel still stands as damning evidence. Even though his team insists the clip was edited and promises to present the full version in court, what the public already saw was enough to form their own opinion about who the aggressor was. Just as the world braces for Cassie to take the stand, another figure steals the spotlight: Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard and the only insider who never signed an NDA, meaning he's free to speak and he's not holding back.
And I know you ain't signed it. I know you ain't signed an NDA, clearly. But did Diddy make his artists sign NDAs and people that work for him?
Well, a lot of these rappers, a lot of these industry people, anybody who does business nowadays with the internet, they have NDAs, non-disclosure. That means that if you work for them, you around them, you can't disclose any of the information about them. It's the same thing that he gave to all his artists when he gave them their publishing back. I'm gonna give y'all publishing, but y'all can't talk about Janice Combs, Justin Combs, Sony, Bad Boy, or anything that happened.
And what Gene revealed is nothing short of chilling. He spoke about what he called FreakOFF's disturbing parties where girls were allegedly drugged and coerced into twisted acts. Gene recalled a New Year's Eve party where his girlfriend and a friend blacked out after just a few sips of champagne. They ended up fleeing to the car to sleep it off. Gene said he searched for them in a panic, only to realize this wasn't just some fancy party. It was a moral minefield. Gene also shared that Diddy had tried to reach out to him through a mutual connection with one message: enough is enough. But Gene couldn't be bought. He refused.
And you right about Diddy's phone being tapped, because news came out that his former bandmate from Dirty Money, she called the other group member Dunn 58 times trying to get her to stop the lawsuit against Diddy.
She ain't the only one he was trying to get in contact with. You understand? He sent somebody through somebody else to try to get in contact with me, telling me enough is enough. Oh, okay. You tell Big Mama that enough is enough. You can't tell Wolf Mama enough is enough. You tell D Ferg Mama enough is enough. You understand? You tell all those people who supported you and they survivors, enough is enough.
You didn't tell me about that. So he tried to get somebody to reach out to you?
Now I got a phone call from Kirk Burrows. And Kirk Burrows, and I ain't gonna give this guy no play. Not Kirk Burrows, but one of the Puff dudes that I know that's real close to him said, Kirk told me, yo, he wanna reach out to you, Gene. He wanna speak to you. I said, speak to me for what? What do you want to speak to me for? If he's trying to speak to me, it's for Puff. Point blank. I know the dude. I know how close he is to Puff. He's been with Puff from day one. So he ain't got nothing to say to me, bro. But Kirk Burrows did say to me that the dude said enough is enough. When do it becomes enough?
And he pointed out something deeper. Diddy never apologized to the mother of Wolf, a trusted bodyguard who died because of Diddy's reckless behavior. If it's really enough, then go tell that to the people who lost their lives because of you, Gene said, choking back tears. He even recalled warning Diddy at one of the parties, if we don't shut this down tonight, someone's gonna die. And sure enough, after that night, 9 people ended up dead. In a twist no one saw coming, a list of over 100 major names in entertainment was suddenly presented to the jury. Not as suspects, but as part of a screening question. Do you know anyone on this list? But when those names appeared, the entire courtroom fell silent.
The candidates are being asked about their own connections to or impressions of an array of celebrities, and with no explanation why, at least not yet. The parlor games have begun, my friends. Everybody is trying to connect the dots between the shiny, famous names and the beleaguered rap star Diddy and the charges. Just today, the name Robert Downey Jr. came up in court. When a prospective juror said that he knew a Robert Downey in high school, it was kind of funny. But Robert Downey, the actor, and Diddy apparently do know each other and have been seen together in public. But Robert Downey Jr. reportedly never attended Diddy's parties. So if he does figure into this trial somehow, it's going to be a lot of news to a lot of us. Mike Myers, another favorite Canadian, favorite actor, favorite comedian. He is on the jury question list as well. And that too is a tongue-wagging mystery.
Why were they even mentioned? Were they ever at one of those infamous parties? Did they witness something that the court needs to know? As the public wrestled with these questions, another truth surfaced. Diddy was allegedly offered a lighter sentence if he agreed to name the powerful people behind the scenes. And suddenly, the big players started retreating from the spotlight. Case in point? Reverend T.D. Jakes, a famous preacher once closely connected to Diddy, suddenly stepped down just days after news of that plea deal offer broke. Religious media was stunned. His congregation was shaken. But those who know the inner workings of Hollywood had just one thing to say: the timing's too perfect. Could it be that Diddy isn't just dragging himself down, but also blowing the lid off a secret power network that's been controlling the industry from the shadows?
With having $75 million at his disposal, isn't that by nature the exact thing that they're worried about? If you have this much money, that you could make this thing, you could probably make people disappear if you really opted to.
See, this is the thing. That'll just make more trouble. Why would he make more trouble now? He done already bought off and paid off everybody he possibly could. Have you looked at the indictment? Like, he called some witnesses up to 54 times.
Yeah, 200 and how many Angel? 200 something people he tried to reach out to.
Like, what are you running, a telethon or a telemarketing agency? Telemarketers don't make that many calls in one day. Or sometimes not even in a week, all depending on you was on that. You down for Diddy?
Another woman who had worked with the group Dirty Money said she got 58 calls in 1 week, all trying to convince her to drop her lawsuit. And it didn't stop with phone calls. Another former bodyguard, Eugene Deal, confirmed that Diddy tried to reach out to him too, using an old mutual contact to deliver the same eerie message: enough is enough. But to people like Eugene, who had witnessed the dark secrets behind Diddy's private parties, that message felt more like a threat. Diddy knew it. And with $75 million to burn, he's trying everything money can buy to dodge a conviction before trial even begins. But the question is this time, will money still be enough to silence the truth? When a celebrity gets caught up in a scandal, the usual move is to lawyer up with a powerhouse legal team to protect their image, their reputation, and their freedom. But for Diddy, even that is falling apart. One of the biggest shocks recently? The prestigious law firm Grubman, Shire, Mycelas & Sachs, Diddy's legal home for over 20 years, officially filed to withdraw from his case. This isn't just any law office. This is the legal fortress that has represented stars like Madonna, Usher, Bruce Springsteen, Paul Simon, and Lady Gaga. So why would they drop Diddy at the most critical moment?
Now let's go back to Sean Combs. So the rumor circulating is that this firm did this because singer and actress Lady Gaga had threatened to leave the firm unless they parted ways with Combs. This is according to reporting by News Nation. And it's a big deal because the rapper and producer had apparently been with Grubman's firm for over 20 years. He was friends with Alan Grubman by all accounts.
Even Diddy's lead attorney, Anthony Rico, wrote bluntly in the official filing, "Under no circumstances can I continue to represent Mr. Combs effectively in accordance with ethical standards." That's lawyer speak for one hard truth. This case is unwinnable. And anyone who sticks around risks being tainted by it. This mass exodus has people asking, what is Diddy hiding that even his most trusted attorneys won't stand by him? And if Hollywood's top legal minds are backing away, does he have any real chance left? Backed into a corner, Diddy, or more precisely, what's left of his legal team, pulled out one last card. I didn't know what I was doing, because I was high. You heard that right. Diddy is claiming that his violent behavior, the twisted FreakOFF parties, even the alleged sexual assaults all happened while he was under the influence, completely out of control. And because of that, he shouldn't be held fully criminally responsible. Sounds like a desperate defense move? That's exactly how prosecutors see it. They immediately filed a motion to block testimony from Diddy's so-called expert witness, a doctor hired to support his claims. Prosecutors argue that this is nothing more than a distraction, legally baseless, and irrelevant to the criminal charges. But Diddy didn't stop there. He also tried to strike back by filing a complaint over the search warrants for his homes in Los Angeles and Miami, claiming the searches violated his privacy. Yes, seriously. After police found critical documents and digital devices, Diddy now wants those materials thrown out of the case. In short, he's throwing everything at the wall, blaming the drugs, attacking the evidence, smearing the witnesses. And it all points to one thing. Diddy is scared, terrified. If you think this case is just about Diddy and Cassie, think again. Cassie may have been the first to step into the spotlight, but behind her stands a long line of women who've suffered in silence. And now they're finding their voices. According to a group of attorneys representing the victims, they received hundreds of calls in the weeks after Cassie went public with her lawsuit. Hundreds of women, former employees, ex-girlfriends, artists signed under Bad Boy Records, even women who simply attended those FreakOFF parties have come forward. But not all of them have enough evidence to press charges. So the legal teams have had to make tough calls. Only those with the strongest testimonies, the most solid proof, and the highest chance of staying protected from retaliation are being brought into the official case files. That doesn't mean the others aren't victims. It just means their turn hasn't come yet. And that's what makes the public even more outraged, especially when Diddy has the audacity to claim Cassie was violent too, as if that somehow lessens what he's accused of. It's a cold, calculated move, one meant to deflect blame and confuse the public. What's even more disturbing? Multiple witnesses and victims say they were forced to sign NDAs, ironclad non-disclosure agreements, under the threat of serious consequences if they ever spoke out. Some were allegedly paid off to keep quiet. One woman, whose name had been linked to a related case, reportedly received $10,000 from Jay-Z's team to withdraw her complaint after his name surfaced in the allegations. This is no longer the story of just one man. This is a network, a system, a web of dark power operating in the shadows of the entertainment industry. And the scariest part? It's still going. Sean Diddy Combs is no longer just a music icon. He's now the face of corruption, of power abused, and of an industry that's enabled darkness for far too long. Victims are rising. Witnesses are risking their lives to speak out. And justice, though slow, is coming closer than ever. But this isn't the end. This is just the beginning of something bigger. Because if Diddy goes down, he won't be going alone. From top-charting artists to Hollywood elites to producers, pastors, and even political figures, many are now trembling at the thought of their names being dragged into the light. Because once the silence is broken, the truth floods in like a dam that's finally burst. And no one is safe. And you, the one watching this video, you are part of this awakening. Because when the spotlight fades, what remains isn't fame or glitter. It's justice.